Baseball is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, a grand slam for your budget. Visit progressive.com. By Chaz Roberts, serving you since 42. By Talking Stick Resort, Playcation is back. Stay and play with rates as low as $129. By Trajan Wealth, enjoy life today without worrying about tomorrow. And by Sanderson Ford. For the best play on a new vehicle, choose Sanderson Ford. Well, the Diamondbacks, despite some crushing injuries this week, have a chance tonight to clinch a third consecutive series victory, but the Jets are scrambling in the carrier right now. Torlovello said today the conversations in his office have been rapid, very rapid, as they try to figure out a plan with so many injured players.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to improvise on the fly. I mentioned Mike Hazen talking about especially pitching depth in spring training. You know that you're going to have some injured pitchers over the course of the year, so hopefully the Diamondbacks have planned ahead, and the guys, like Gracie said, getting an opportunity now. Hopefully they take full advantage.
They had already lost Corbin Burns. They've lost Ryan Nelson and now Michael Soroka. So here's your Y-Refi starting pitcher stats for Zach Gallen, who tonight looks for his first win since May 23rd.
Yeah, I'd like to see Zach miss some bats tonight, run up that strikeout total, and if he misses some bats, hopefully that opponent's average will dip down below 300 after tonight.
Twins, even with the loss, have won 4 of their last 5, 6 of 9. Trevor Larnach in the leadoff spot for Minnesota tonight.
Yeah, some power up and down this Minnesota Twins lineup. Cody Clemens has done some damage against the D-backs. Former D-back Josh Bell with a long home run yesterday.
And home runs have been a bit of a problem for Zach lately. Let's get a look around the diamond now at the D-back defense. That's provided by CarShield.
How can you not highlight Corbin Carroll after the day he had yesterday? It was just fun to watch. Let's just put it that way. I've said it many times. The most exciting play in the game is watching Corbin Carroll hit a triple and looking at his face coming around second base on his way to third.
Oh, win tonight clinches another series victory. Bob, your keys to the game are brought to us by Jeep.
Well, you need to find the release point on their starting pitcher tonight. He has raised his arm angle way up. He throws a higher arm angle than Ryan Nelson. So make sure you know where that ball is coming from and make this Minnesota defense make some plays. They were kicking it around pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, they have made some defensive changes themselves. Taj Bradley looking for the win in Minnesota's corner. The Twins come in third in the American League Central, 5 games under 500, but only 4.5 back of the White Sox, who lead that division. The crew chief, James Hoy, is back there, our plate umpire calling balls and strikes, and Trevor Larnach, the left fielder, leads it off for Minnesota on a Saturday night in downtown Phoenix. And there's a fastball for a strike at 94. Larnach, the left fielder, 274 and 5 homers. He is on fire right now. 9 hits in his last 17 at bats, including a couple of home runs in their series at Texas this week. Zach Gallen will need to avoid the long ball today. Zach, in his first 7 starts this year, allowed only 2 home runs, but he's given up 11 homers in his last 8 starts, and he's facing a Twins team tonight that is mashing. Last 14 games, the Twins have hit 31 home runs, second most in baseball over that span, behind only the Analytics. Gallen got in there with a 2-strike fastball, and Larnach dropped it into right center, a leadoff single.
Yeah, right in on his knuckles that time. Good pitch by Zach Gallen. Unfortunately, good hitting by Trevor Larnach. Hits it right off the trademark of the bat. Just a little floater out into shallow right center field for the first knock of the game.
Like to see Zach with those 2-strike fastballs, but Larnach got in front of that one. On board ahead of Byron Buxton, the center fielder. Buxton on base much of last night. He walked and singled twice, having a tremendous year, and that's fouled away. He's hitting 273 and leads Minnesota in hits and home runs. See those 23 homers for Byron Buxton. That total is the 3rd most of the majors, behind only Kyle Schwarber and Yordan Alvarez. Schwarber hit 2 more tonight against the Mets as the Phillies tore New York apart. Perdomo's got a top shelf, and there's one away.
Always a big out to get Byron Buxton out of the way. A little soft line drive to Perdomo that time. Looked like he hit it out near the end of the bat.
First out for Zach Gallen. Cody Clemens, the right fielder tonight, bats third. And he'll take his timeout right away. Clemens third on the Twins with those 11 home runs. He has been getting the barrel on the ball this month. He's among the highest average exit velos in June. So Clemens hitting the ball hard consistently. There's the first pitch fastball at 95 for a strike. And Clemens on a good run right now, hitting .309 in his last 14 games, including 5 home runs. And it's out of play. Diamondback fans may recall last September. Played a 3-game set at Target Field, and Cody Clemens did a tremendous amount of damage. Had a 3-homer game in the opener Friday night of that series. Diamondbacks could not contain him. He went 7 for 13 in 3 games, drove in 7 runs. Tommy Troy's in left. 2 outs for Zach, and now it's the former Diamondback Josh Bell, who was among the Twin sluggers who homered here last night in the opener. His 9th of the year. Bell, the one-time Diamondback, the veteran switch hitter, leads the Twins in RBIs this year. Larnach still at first with 2 outs. A lot of fastballs early for Zach.
Yeah, we've seen that recipe before from Zach Gallen, where he throws a lot of fastballs early in the game, and then second and third time through the lineup he throws very few fastballs.
Change up sailed away arm side. It's 2-0. Zach in his start Sunday at Cincinnati did not get a decision in the win over the Reds, but pitched pretty well overall. 3 runs, 6 hits in 6 innings. And of course, along the way, past Brandon Webb for second on the Diamondbacks all-time strikeout list. He's only a few behind Randy. Royce Lewis would be next. It's 3-0 on Josh Bell.
I heard that Webby was getting his arm back in shape. He wants to reclaim that second spot on the strikeout list.
That's a rocket down the line, and we'll see how fast Larnach can move. Corbin's got it in the corner. They're going to wave Larnach all the way around. Bell smokes another one, and I think they're going to send him back to third as he got stuck in the fence out there. You saw Corbin Carroll raise up his hands and surrender. 108 miles an hour off the bat of Josh Bell, and the Diamondbacks caught a break right there.
I'm surprised that didn't go right through the fence down in the right field corner. Josh Bell, when he barrels a ball, it stays hit. That ball was smoked down into the corner.
Kicked up and over.
Up and over. Yep. That angled fence in front of the right field bullpen.
It's a real break for the D-backs right there. Larnach scores easily. Then he goes back to third, second and third, 2 down for Royce Lewis, the first baseman. Lewis, a 200 hitter with 7 homers. He homered here last night. Part of a recent resurgence after being optioned to the minors earlier this year. Larnach is at third and Bell's at second with 2 outs. Lewis is another guy that's found a hot streak. He's hit home runs in 4 of his last 9 games for the Twins.
Now Lewis has made some tweaks to his approach in that right-handed batter's box. That right foot, you can see it's well in front of the back line, but as the pitch is being delivered, he steps all the way back on that back line. He's standing a lot deeper in the box now than he was. He's standing farther off the plate than he used to, and he's got a much shorter distance between his feet. They thought his balance was thrown off. His stride was too long.
Allen's gone to 3 ball counts on back-to-back hitters here with 2 outs. And that cutter lands for a strike.
Yeah, watch the step back with the right foot. The little bit of a leg kick right there.
That's the leg kick that he's gone back to recently, trying to get that big load on the backside and power through. 3-1 now. This is with that cut fastball low, so a double on the walk with 2 outs have loaded the bases for Brooks Lee, the third baseman. Minnesota 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position last night. Lee second on the club behind Buxton with those dozen homers. And the knuckle curveball misses. Brooks Lee puts the ball in play. He has gone 42 consecutive plate appearances without striking out, which is the major's longest active streak. He has not struck out since June 7th. You got to get him to hit it at a defender. The fastball is a strike. It's 1-1. Changeup sailed away. Zach 21 pitches so far, but the balls are starting to stack up. Nearly a 50-50 split at this point. 2-1 on the way. And that one is just beyond the reach of Marte. Larnach is home. They will wave bell. Corbin Carroll's throw is not in time, and Minnesota puts a 2 spot on the board in the first. 3 consecutive reach with 2 outs for the Twins as Brooks Lee drives in 2.
If Ketel Marte was just a little bit taller, he makes a play on that line drive into right field. Gave it a good effort out there, but just out of his reach. Corbin Carroll charging the ball like we've seen him do many times. Unfortunately, this time his throw tails to the first base side, allowing Lewis to score. Or somebody scored. Who's Bell?
Lewis at third now. Lee's at first. Brian Kaplan out to the mound. As Victor Caratini, who hit a long home run here last night, is coming up, the switch hitting catcher. And Gallo already at 22 pitches. Josh Bell has been a tremendous pickup for the Twins. Diamondback fans know what he can do. Tell you what, you want to feel small, ride an elevator with Josh Bell.
Yeah, no kid.
My goodness.
He is a mountain of a man.
So here's Caratini, who walked twice and homered last night. His first season with the Twins.
We've joked in the past about Victor Caratini and Curt Casale, the 2 backup catchers that have done damage against the Diamondbacks over the course of their career. And as you mentioned, Caratini launched one to right field yesterday.
He has homered in 2 of his last 3 games. He has homered 3 times in his last 10, having a big month at the plate. 2 runs home, 2 on and 2 out. Fastball's a strike at 95. Caratini in his last 15 games is hitting .370. Adrian Del Castillo behind the plate today. Gabriel Moreno with a night off.
Yeah, the catcher used to step out in front of home plate and give a set of signals to the middle infielders and the corner infielders and the pitcher, for that matter, to let him know where he's going to throw the ball should the runner at first break for second. But now it's all on the pitch com.
Everything's technological. Good change up there, and it's 0-2 on Caratini. Zach trying to limit the damage in the first. Pitch number 25 on the way. Royce Lewis is at third. Brooks Lee at first. Lee takes off. Called strike 3. Caratini didn't argue. Gallen gets a big strikeout and strands 2, but Minnesota strikes first. Back with you from Chase Field on D-backs TV. Ketel Marte will lead it off against Taj Bradley, 25-year-old right-hander, the Twins starting pitcher today. 5-3 in 13 starts, averaging 10 strikeouts for every 9 innings pitched.
Yeah, the strikeout numbers are elevated there. This is a guy that's a 4-seam pitcher, a 4-seam fastball, a cutter, a split, and a curve. He uses mostly fastball, cutter to the right-handed hitters, fastball, split to the lefties.
And Marte gets first look. Ketel hit a towering home run here last night in the opener. He's hit safely in 8 straight. The home run for Ketel last night is 12th of the year.
Maybe the highest home run hit in Major League Baseball this year. 40-degree launch angle.
Crazy. Nice catch while Brandon Garcia was warming up in the bullpen mound. Hit it right to him. that split. 1-2 on Marte. Taj Bradley went down in early May with a right pectoral inflammation situation. It's been 3 weeks on the injured list and is not really in the same pitcher he was prior to the injury. He's got good live stuff. This was Marte last night, way up high. And there's the catch by Garcia in the bullpen. Diamondbacks won the opener despite losing their starting pitcher, Michael Soroka. After 1 inning, Soroka went on the injured list today. I think he can continue his throwing program because it's a lower body situation. News on Jordan Lawler not nearly as encouraging. Lawler won't have imaging redone for another 4 weeks at least.
That's kind of shocking the way he ran off the field.
Yeah.
It looked fairly normal. He wasn't limping. He wasn't favoring anything.
Yeah, he's going to be down a while. It's going to be several weeks. Splitter sailed away and it's 3-2. So in the meantime, in center, you'll see Jorge Barossa like tonight. Tim Tao will be in the mix. They're going to get a look at Tommy Troy in center field as well. So it'll be a revolving door out there while Lawler's injured. Marte hits another one way up high, not quite as far this time. Cody Clemens is under it. And we get a look around the diamond at the Twins defense tonight.
We're going to highlight Byron Buxton out there in center field. I'll tell you, when healthy, he's one of the best players in the game. Unfortunately, he spends a lot of time on the injured list. From 2018 through 2024, he had 14 separate IL stints. Missed almost half their games.
Unfortunately, he's been able to stay healthy now last couple of years, and it's made a big difference. They're under 500, but very much in the division race in the AL Central. Here's Geraldo Perdomo. Walked twice and scored twice last night. Don't forget, it's a great night to play our 50-50 jackpot. Already up about $18,000 in the bottom of the first inning. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and make this a frenzy.
I like it.
Yep. Because we have another national exclusivity game tomorrow, so we won't be able to do our 50-50 on Father's Day, which is always a big day for the 50-50. So we're going to go into frenzy mode here tonight. Get in now. Your chance to give Dad a Father's Day present he won't forget. Purchase tickets at dbacks.com/5050 from anywhere in the state of Arizona. The D-backs Give Back 50-50 raffles are put on by Avnet Cares. It's a frenzy, which means just go crazy. Buy a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
By the way, the Diamondbacks Nike RBI season is funded by the raffle and currently underway. The program supported by our Diamondback fans provides an opportunity for high school athletes to play baseball or softball in an elite summer league at no cost. One of the many great programs funded through the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation by you, our viewers and fans, through the 50-50. A walk to Perdomo ahead of Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, several of the athletes that have already gone through the Nike RBI season have gone on to play collegiate baseball.
That's just another great example of the tremendous work the Diamondbacks Foundation does, all funded by our fans. Here's Corbin, who has been on fire lately, coming off a 3-hit night last night. A home run shy of the cycle last night. The bases loaded triple, as we know, tied him with Stephen Drew for the Diamondbacks career lead. Bases loaded triple last night followed the grand slam Wednesday in the win over the Angels. So he's got 8 RBIs in his last 2 games. Perdomo holds, and the splitter sails up and away. It's 1-1. Taj Bradley mentioned he was on the injured list for 3 weeks. Won his first start off the IL, beat the Red Sox in Boston. But since then he's gone winless in 4 starts and has given up at least 4 earned runs every time. So he's not been the same guy he was over the first several weeks of the year. This is a guy that started out 5-1 in his first 9 starts with a .277 earned run average, and then trying to get back to where he was before that injury. Gurriel, the DH on deck. It's 2-2.
on Corbin Carroll. Bradley has said he doesn't really have an answer right now. Things for him are a little bit confusing. Don't hit Dan Gladden. Oh boy, he's getting buried. Trevor Plouffe is all over him. There's your buddy.
Oh, he's got his glove and he still missed it.
Let's show that like another 10 times. Look at Corey. Corey's cowering under the table.
He's seen Dan Gladden play defense before.
You're right. In fairness, it's just self-preservation. With Gladden in front of you with a glove, there's Gracie's going to go in there and embarrass him.
Get him, Gracie.
Oh, here we go with the excuses.
Yeah, I just had my glove relaced. It's tighter than it used to be.
Corey knocked Corey's headset off. All the wires are tangled up. What a mess. Gracie got in there in a hurry. 3-2 to Corbin. Way up high. It hit the roof. It hit the roof and will go into the seats out of play. It hit one of the girder beams up there and caromed out of play. That might have been headed for the bullpen. I've seen guys come close. I'm not sure I've seen that in a while.
I told you this before. I saw it happen one time. Yamil Benitez hit a pop-up that got up in the rafters.
It hit the rafters and took a hard right into the seats. It was that high. So we'll do it again on 3-2. Perdomo still holding. Ground ball to short, backhanded up the middle, and Corbin is out at first. Willie Traynor, the umpire over there. That's Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop today, after we saw Gray have a rough night there last night. And no challenge for the Diamondbacks.
That was a heck of a play by Kreidler out there at shortstop. Went way to his backhand side, throws on the move just in time to get Corbin at first base.
You got him. Perdomo into second, 2 outs now for Gurriel. Lourdes is the DH tonight.
Fastball at 99 is the strike. Lourdes has hits and RBIs in 2 of his 3 games since coming off the injured list. Missed 21 games with that left hamstring strain. Bradley throwing hard. 100-mile-an-hour stuff. Bradley's first full season with Minnesota, pitched parts of 3 previous years in Tampa Bay. Twins picked him up at last season's trade deadline, a deal for reliever Griffin Jacks. Oh boy, that got Caratini. They're already without Jeffers, who was their frontline catcher. Ryan Jeffers has been out since the middle of May, had a hamate bone fracture in his left hand, and that one caught Caratini right between the eyes.
Yeah, a lot of the new catcher's masks have springs on the side, and the cage part of the mask is attached to those springs that absorbs a lot of the impact of those foul balls off the mask. Caratini does not have those springs on the cage part of his mask.
He missed some time late last season on the concussion list on a similar type play, Victor Caratini. That was last season with the Astros. It's 0-2 on Gurriel. Popped up first base side. Royce Lewis in foul ground. We'd like to point out that Dan Gladden has 43 career errors, but none perhaps as embarrassing as that. Hey.
Sabe mejor.
Well, there's now a receiving line outside the Twins radio booth. Bob Bradley went in there between innings to give his former Giants teammate, that's the card that says how bad he was defensively. And then you had to show him how to use the glove.
Oh, he had a million excuses. I had to move way over to my left. I was trying to see what was going on in the field.
Former Twins great and Giants great, Dan Gladden.
He's a beauty.
He's amazing. Luke Keyshaw, the second baseman. One pitch out right to third for Arenado, and Gallen could use that after a 25-pitch first.
No question about it. One thing about Zach Gallen, in 9 of his 16 starts this season, he's allowed at least 1 run in the first inning. It'd be nice to just put a 0 up there, let your team try to score some early runs.
Well, in this case, it was a 2-spot. Ryan Kreidler made that nice play at shortstop. Is the number 9 hitter for the Twins. They had Tristan Gray at shortstop last night. It was part of that middle infield defense that kind of had a meltdown midway through last night's game that may have cost the Twins that game. Certainly opened the door for the Diamondbacks. And they're able to take advantage. Kreidler 243 and 4 homers. And he's a guy that's played a little bit everywhere. Pinch hitter, defensive sub. He'll play shortstop, center field. 4th rounder by the Tigers out of UCLA. Till they let him go. He was waived, claimed by the Pirates last August, never played for the Pirates. They let him go, and he was picked up by the Twins. Done a nice job for them.
Kreidler's already made one highlight reel play in this game to get Corbin Carroll at first base on a tough play in the hole.
That's not easily done against any runner, let alone Corbin Carroll. Larnach on deck, the leadoff man. It's 2-2 on Ryan Kreidler. Once more for Arenado near the bag at third. Tough throw across his body, but he's done that once or twice.
I pointed this out even going all the way back to spring training. Nolan Arenado rarely sets his feet. He likes to throw in motion. It would have been very easy to plant his right foot and make a throw across the diamond there, but he's so adept at throwing on the move. You never see him make a bad throw.
Refi gives us that slow-mo look. Here's Larnach, who singled and scored to lead it off for the Twins. Don't forget, it is a 50-50 frenzy, and the numbers going up quickly. We have a very big crowd here tonight to see this game against Minnesota. We're already over $24,000. dbacks.com/5050. It's a 50-50 pre-Father's Day frenzy.
3 of the top 6 frenzies have been on Father's Day.
Yeah, we're including number 1 all time.
Yeah.
Last year when we got it up over $560,000 thanks to our Diamondback fans. So don't forget, you don't have to play, or you don't have to be here at the ballpark to play along. You can do so from home. Just log on to dbacks.com/5050 from anywhere inside the state of Arizona. And it's going to be a big final jackpot. Half that total can be yours. And, you know, hey, Dad, here's a couple of $100,000 for Father's Day. I hope that works out.
Knock yourself out, Dad.
Right. I mean, you know, you're going to give him like a set of like 3 Titleists in a box or something, or a bad tie. No,
bad tie.
Here's like thousands and thousands of dollars. Buy all the golf balls you need. Some dads need more than others.
Yes.
Larnach launches one toward the pool. Corbin Carroll's got it. It died out of the warning track right in front of the water. And Gallen lives to find another day. A 1-2-3 second for Zach, but he trails it 2-zip.
Eddie.
Well, an emotional night last night, Torlavello said it, after they lost Michael Soroka to a glute injury. Fell behind early. They pieced it together with a bullpen. And the offense able to come back and take advantage. And of course, highlighted by that Corbin Carroll bases loaded triple. But they are having, Torlavello said, conversations in his office, very rapid, trying to figure out how to piece together a roster, losing player after player. Pavin Smith bats 5th and starts us off in the 2nd. And as Torrey said, with this rash of injuries, they just are in a bad cycle, have to weather the storm after what was last night a very emotional day. I mean, you start thinking about, you think you're going to get Corbin Burns back. He's about to go on a rehab assignment. He goes down. AJ Puck was already on a rehab assignment. He goes down. You lose Ryan Nelson. Next day you lose Michael Soroka and Jordan Lawler. Dominoes are going one after the other. And there's the cutter. Bradley picks up his first strikeout.
Hey fans, when the D-backs hit a home run tonight, you score a free jumbo jack from Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink.
Nolan Arenado had a couple of base hits in last night's game. Nolan first multi-hit game since May 19th, so hopefully he's coming out of a slumber. Bradley firing consistent 99-mile-an-hour fastballs in there. Taj Bradley out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. 5th-round pick out of high school there by Tampa Bay back in 2018. Will be in Tampa Bay to face the Rays next weekend at the Trop. The Trop.
Yeah, talking about Bradley signed with Tampa Bay. They banged him around pretty good earlier this season. He gave up 4 home runs in a start against the Rays.
Yeah, the Rays sent him to Minnesota at the trade deadline last year. Got off to a great start this year, but trying to get back on track. The stuff is impressive. Always has been. Arenado to center, and Buxton makes a running grab on that sinking liner. Byron Buxton still getting it done out there. He's only 32 years old. It's not like he's 50, but boy, when he's healthy, he's one of the best in the game.
I mean, we saw him a couple of years ago in Minnesota. He absolutely put on a show. Stole home runs, leaping up over the fence, made diving catches on the warning track.
Started nearly 120 games in center for the Twins last year. Went to the All-Star game, won a Silver Slugger award, put up career-high numbers, in fact, offensively. And is having another outstanding season this year. Here's Adrian Del Castillo. Gabriel Moreno has the night off. So Del behind the plate. Once more for Buxton. Hangs up there near the 413 mark, and Bradley has retired 5 in a row. He holds a 2-0 lead.
Definitely been like one of the better groups I've been a part of. So we're super close. You know, I feel like we're always like joking, you know, whether in the locker room or down in the pen like before. And so I think that kind of helps, like just like that pass the torch mentality. You know, you want to pick each other up.
Well, they've done a great job, guys. It's been a couple of red alerts for the bullpen in the last week. Last Friday, the bullpen had to take over in the 3rd inning after Erod had thrown a lot of pitches, and then last night in the 2nd inning with the Michael Soroka injury. But they have been up to the task, as you heard Taylor Clark say, just passing the baton from guy to guy. Both those games were wins, and that is not easy to do.
Yeah, Jody, and the coaches, Brian Kaplan and Owen Dew and Torrey, did a tremendous job of navigating that game last night after Soroka went down. Here's Buxton, who pops it straight up in the air. And, you know, they didn't have to use Murillo. Nobody was really extended too far, with the exception perhaps of Dre Jameson. So Torrey says the bullpen is just fine tonight. And don't forget, you don't get another day off here for about another week and a half. I think it's 13 in a row. So last night they survived, and I think all things considered did pretty well.
Yeah, and it was very fortunate that the blow up last night came after an off day, so the bullpen was rested and ready to go last night. Fortunately, they were ready to answer the bell.
A quick 1-pitch out for Zach Gallen there. That's how he started off the 2nd, opens up the 3rd against Buxton like that. There's strike 1 to Cody Clemens, who flied out his first time. Good curveball, and it's 0-2. Here's a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Pavin Smith at first base on the line.
You see this a lot. The infield playing to pull, the outfield playing a few steps to the opposite field. All based on spray charts that they've looked at. Clemens at bats.
A little tapper to first for Pavin. And Pavin wins the foot race to the bag. Here comes Josh Bell, who smoked a double down the right field line his first time up after a home run last night. The subject of our progressive player profile. How about this? 18 RBIs in his last 22 games. A quick start to this inning for Zach so far. He's got 2 outs on just 4 pitches. And Bell will take time.
remember when Josh was a member of the Diamondbacks, and we told the story when everybody was shut down because of COVID. He went to Marlins Park every day with his father.
Yeah.
Working on some things offensively. Had permission to use the stadium. He was in there hitting with his dad every day.
Hooked up with Minnesota in December on a one-year deal, Josh Bell. Quick inning for Gallen. Marte gets to this one. Zach, how about that? 3 outs on just 6 pitches, and Gallen has set down 7 straight.
Well, D-backs fans, look at Jake McCarthy as we get a look around the league off Paul Skeens. Bottom first, Jake Mangum, the diving attempt in center. It goes all the way to the wall in Coors Field, and McCarthy's going all the way around for a leadoff inside the park home run.
That's a way to get a ball game started right there. You may have noticed Jake knocked his helmet off between second and third so he could get his hair flapping in the wind.
That's provided by Bet365.
Good for him.
Boy, that is the perfect ballpark for Jake McCarthy.
Sure is.
Line drives into those gaps and just start running wild. Right now the Rockies have a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. They're headed to the 7th inning at Coors. Here's Jorge Barosa in center field. Game of the day was at Philadelphia, where the Phillies beat the Mets 15-3.
Yikes.
Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs. Phillies had an 8-run third. Schwarber homered to lead off that inning, and then homered again later in that same inning.
Oh, goodness.
And then hit another home run later in the game. Bryce Harper tripled and homered and got the cycle. How about that?
Really?
Yeah, got the triple, the homer, the double, the single. 15-3. Oh, the Mets. You know, some Mets fans might point out it shouldn't count because it was against the Mets. But that's from Met fans, so you know.
Yeah, this could be one of the more interesting trade deadlines in a long time, because there's a lot of teams that are not playing anywhere near what they expected to do and have a huge payroll and some
Red
guys
Sox,
in expiring
go down the list,
contracts.
right? Red Sox, Mets,
Yeah.
take your pick. The Tigers have been a washout. Angels, I mean, they might move Reed Detmers at the deadline. We saw how good he is the other night. And Barosa misses a hard fastball on a 3-2 pitch, and Bradley set down 6 in a row. That's his 2nd strikeout.
I'd like to see Barosa make a little more contact. He's really struggled just to put the ball in play, and with his speed he can make some things happen on the bases if he gets on.
We're going to have a revolving door in center with Jordan Lawler out for a minimum of 4 weeks, probably longer. Tommy trying to bunt his way on. Caratini's got it, and Troy's got the bunt single. Tommy Troy, pressure, pressure, pressure. We've seen Tommy do that a number of times lately, and that's the first Diamondback hit. Well, Caratini made about as nice a play on it as he can.
Not a great bunt, popped it right out in front of home plate there. The pitcher or the catcher could have possibly made the play, but not with Tommy Troy running.
Here's Marte. Peter Borges filling in for Dave McKay, who was at a graduation ceremony this weekend. Mac were told to be back tomorrow. But Peter Borges, a nice asset to have, the base coach.
Peter Borges went to Notre Dame Prep right here in the Valley and was a teammate with my son Michael back in the day. I'll tell you, watching Peter Borges play in high school, it just wasn't fair.
He was pretty fast.
Yes, he was.
Probably still is. Marte fouls off a cutter. It's a ball and a strike. Cattell flied out his first time.
Can't remember where the game was, possibly up in Prescott. It was a road game, and Peter had something wrong with it. He had a blister or something wrong with his arm. He couldn't swing. So he bunted every at bat. I think he went 3 for 4 bunting every at bat.
Doing a great job filling in for Mac. 1-1 on Marte. Long set by Taj Bradley. Taking that timer right down to the buzzer. And nearly threw it to the backstop at 99. They are considering him a key piece of their puzzle if they're going to make a postseason run. They have got to get him right, says Twins manager Derek Shelton. Its execution's been an issue, overall lack of command. But they have got to get him back to how he was pitching earlier this year. It's 3-1. Keeps missing at 99.
That's one of the more frustrating things for a pitching coach and a manager when you've had a guy like Bradley who showed what he's capable of doing earlier this season, but then suddenly falls on hard times, trying to figure out how to get him back to where he was early.
I mean, these are not competitive pitches.
No.
Another splitter sailed. As we said before, first 9 starts, Bradley was 5-1, had an ERA well below 3. But he doesn't. He says, I'm not even sure what questions to ask. Do I look for a physical cue? Do I think about mental cues? What do I need to work on? He says he doesn't even have an answer for that right now. So it's a bit of a mystery here. They have an opportunity to get back in this thing, down 2-0 in the third. 2 on and 1 out for Geraldo Perdomo. Second walk issued by Bradley. And the other was Perdomo, who walked in the first. Cutter misses in. Jerry, over his last 16 games, is hitting nearly .330. It's been a very slow march back to where he was before. He's still not quite there yet, but the signs are definitely trending in a very good direction. 50-50 countdown continues. It's a frenzy today, up over $38,000. The number is going up fast. We have a big crowd here today. dbacks.com/5050. Get your tickets online from anywhere in the state of Arizona, and half the final jackpot can be yours. One offer at that splitter at the belt. It's 2-1. James Hoy says ball 2. Crowds, Bob, on this homestand for the Angel series and this Twin series so far have been outstanding.
Tremendous.
I mean, we're packing them in here. Saturday night, downtown Phoenix. It's the place to be. Warnick will give it a look, and he's got just enough room in foul ground. And Perdomo flies out. That's 2 down now. And here comes Corbin. Corbin grounded out his first time on a slick play by Twin shortstop Ryan Kreidler. Corbin 8 RBIs in his last 2 games. 2 on and 2 out. Bradley at 50 pitches already. And this Twins bullpen has been a problem for them all year. So you get into that bullpen, as we saw last night, you could have success. First pitch swinging. There's that split that dropped below the zone for strike 1.
Corbin's still trying to walk that foul ball off. I'm not sure if it caught him in the front leg.
See James Hoy ask if he needed more time.
Yeah, came up and hit him in the right knee, the inside of the right knee that time.
Back in there with an 0-1 count. Tommy Troy at second, Ketel Marte at first. Well, he's missing with that fastball pretty consistently. Everything's sailing up and away arm side. Boy, threw that one right down Broadway.
After missing wildly with some of those high 90s fastballs, he throws one right down the chute to Corbin.
Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smokes it out to short left. Larnach on the run, and he's able to track it down. And Bradley strands 2. To the 4th inning we go, still trailing 2-0. Well, D-backs fans, we invite you to nominate someone in need for the Chaz Roberts Cool Play AC giveaway now through July 19th. Just visit chazroberts.com/coolplaygiveaway and you can nominate a family or a nonprofit in need. Our friends at Chaz Roberts always do such a great job with that every year, and boy, we need it now.
It's getting hot.
Well, I think we're already there and then some, but yeah. Gallen's heating up as well. Zach Gallen coming off a very tidy, quick 1-2-3 third. In fact, Zach has set down 7 straight and faces Royce Lewis to lead off the Twins' 4th. Minnesota got 2 runs in the first, a 2-run single by Brooks Lee, who's on deck. Fastball just off the edge, but a strike, says James Hoy. It's 0-1 on Lewis, who walked in the first. Lewis was struggling so much earlier this year. They sent him down to the minors for a while, spent some time in St. Paul. And since he's come back up, he's hit home runs in 4 of his last 9 games, including last night. Chase the slider. That's that hard cutter. Shows up on your screen as a slider, but at that velo, it's a cut fastball. This has a lot of lateral movement to it. So fools the computer. That's another 2-strike fastball. Now, we missed away. Starting to see a little bit more of that from Zach, those 2-strike fastballs. And there is Brooks Lee on deck, a 2-run single in the first. Way out in front. He went twice on that. Willie Traynor rings him up. 8 straight retired by Gallen, who picks up strikeout number 2.
I mentioned some of the changes to Royce Lewis when he did go down to St. Paul, and one of the things he was talking about to his hitting instructors was the fact he was getting jammed a lot. Well, the easy solution to that is back off the plate a little bit. If everything's inside and you're jamming yourself swinging at those inside pitches, just back off the plate a little bit.
Brooks Lee, we talked about how he always puts it in play. First pitch swing, it just punches one by Arenado for a base hit. You're jamming me, in the words of Tom Petty.
That's right.
See, I don't hate music. Just hate some music. Victor Caratini struck out to win the first.
I mean, that used to be fairly common in the game. I've talked about Keith Hernandez all the time. Back when he was a player,
just going to bring that up.
He would move up on the plate. He'd move off the plate. He'd move back in the box. He'd move up in the box, sometimes from pitch to pitch, depending on what he was looking for. Now, guys, they have their stance. They're going to stand in the same spot every at bat against every pitcher, no matter what he throws.
Knuckle curve sailed away from Zach. Lee single knocked ended a streak of 8 straight, retired. Minnesota now 2 runs on 4 hits. 3 of those hits came in the first. And the changeup goes away. Now it's 3-0. Luke Keyshaw on deck. Second baseman. That's that cutter. 93 on that. Caratini takes time. By the way, getting a lot of compliments on the second season of the Tim Hovik Tour de Velo. Santan Florida. They're talking about Emmy Awards. I'm not sure for which actor. And that one squirts through. Tommy Troy picks it up in left center. In fact, let's check in now. The latest edition from Tim Hovik and Santan Ford.
Can only launch 1 hot dog at a time. What's the point? Hey, Tori.
You guys gotta stop ordering hot dog cannons from my office.
Hey, we're just trying to improve the fan experience.
I love how Gallen has no lines. It's like Penn and Teller. Zach's in a couple of those this year, second season.
So Tim Hovik apparently wants a hot dog gun that shoots more than 1 hot dog at a time.
I thought you would like that one.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. That's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see Redzilla when we were at Cincinnati last weekend. I know that's your favorite.
I like that one a lot, and I like going to Pittsburgh because the mascot there, he comes up on top of the first base dugout. And,
the Pirate Parrot.
Yeah, shoots T-shirts up into the stands, and I waved at him from the press box, and usually the last T-shirt he tries to shoot up into the press box. He's come close a couple times, but never got one all the way up there.
Pittsburgh, as we know, is elevated, let's say.
Yes.
Booth is pretty high. Luke Keyshaw grounded out his first time. Gallen got a quick strikeout of Lewis to start the inning, but then just little bleeder singles by Lee and Caratini have put 2 on with 1 out. Swing and bunt gets by Gallen. Perdomo bare hand play, and no play to be made. Minnesota has had 3 consecutive reach. All 3 hits have barely left the infield, but they've got the bases loaded now for Ryan Kreidler.
Just a well-placed swinging bunt that time. Got it by Gallen on the mound. That's a tough play for Jerry to come in and make that barehanded throw onto first. Exit velocities on the 3 singles by the Twins this inning: 66, 82, and 35.
They've got the number 9 man at the plate in Kreidler, the shortstop. He grounded out his first time. Gallen a ground ball away from getting out of this mess. Sliders ball 1. It's that hard cutter again. Brooks Lee is the runner at third base for Minnesota. Victor Caratini the catcher at second. Luke Keyshaw is at first. Tried the cutter again. Boy, Zach's having trouble throwing strikes here. He was on a nice run, 8 consecutive retired. Up the middle, and Marte able to knock it down, but then it rolls away. Lee is across with the 3rd Minnesota run. Caratini has to stop at third base, and the bases are still loaded now for the top of the Minnesota lineup. With 4 consecutive singles on the ground.
2 of them didn't even leave the infield. Nice play by Marte just to knock that down. Perhaps saved a run right there. Caratini's not the fastest guy on this Twins roster, but if that ball gets too much farther away from him, or he misses it completely, that's another run.
For sure. So 3-0 Minnesota now with 7 hits, 4 consecutive singles with 1 out. Larnach is the leadoff man. He singled and scored to start the game, 1 for 2. Larnach hitting .341 in June, and he's on fire right now. He's got 10 hits in his last 19 at bats, and the bases are full of Twins.
That swing and miss still missing from Zach Gallen. He has yet to have a swing and a miss on a fastball tonight. 3 on a changeup, 2 on a curve, 1 on a slider, none on his fastball.
20th pitch of the inning has bounced another one that gets by Marte through the infield. Caratini scores. Keyshaw behind, throw into third where Kreidler's safe. Larnach drives in 2 more, and it's 5-0 Minnesota. Five consecutive hits.
Well, none of them hit particularly hard, but well located, just out of the reach of Ketel Marte that time. Corbin came up firing to third base, realized he had no chance to get the runner at home plate. Maybe you can nip Kreidler over there at third base, but he gets in on his belly ahead of the throw.
So Larnach 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Larnach is now 11 for his last 20. And now you still got to deal with Byron Buxton, and still just 1 out. Gallen's already thrown 20 pitches in this inning. James Hoy out to break it up. Ryan Kaplan with his message. And Buxton steps in. He's 0 for 2. Buxton has homered in 6 of his last 12 games.
leads Minnesota in hits and home runs. Kreidler's at third, Larnach at first. Three runs already home for Minnesota, and the fastball misses away. I mean, give the Twins credit. 5 hits in a row is 5 hits in a row, but they're not exactly hitting line drives into the gaps here. Ryan Kaplan, Owen Dew, the pitching coaches on each side of Torey Lovullo there. Sinker is low.
Sky high, straight up behind second. Perdomo and Marte. Jerry's under it. Everybody stays put. That's out number 2. Buxton 0 for 3. Now Cody Clemens comes up, the 8th man to bat in the Minnesota 4th. He's 0 for 2. Clemens on a good run right now. 5 homers, 10 RBI in his last 14 games. He's got Kreidler at third, Larnach at first, and 2 down. And he drops it into center for another Minnesota run. Kreidler is home. A 4-run Twins 4th. 6 hits in the inning against Zach Gallen.
Nobody moving in that Diamondbacks bullpen yet as Clemens hits it right off the very end of that bat. Barely made it over the infield and just dies in front of Barossa out there in center.
Now it's Josh Bell, the 9th man to bat in this inning for Minnesota. Bell hit a missile down the first base line for a double. His first time up, grounded out in the 3rd. The Twins RBI leader this year, the former Diamondback. Josh had a productive season in Washington last year. 22 homers, drove in more than 60 runs. And another good year now with the Twins. Minnesota, the 7th team in his 11-year career, Josh Bell. Always seems to be looking for a job every winter, but then always puts up numbers wherever he goes.
Numbers, yep.
33 years old. And a 4-pitch walk. Minnesota has batted around against Gallen in the 4th. The bullpen still quiet behind him. And Lewis, who struck out to begin this inning, is the hitter. Second walk issued by Zach today. Lewis, first pitch swinging with the bases full. It hangs up in right center. Corbin is under to collect it. Minnesota sends 10 men to the plate. 4 come across. They take a 6-0 lead. You're watching the Diamondbacks Baseball Network, and it's presented by Progressive.
50.
It stinks. It really stinks with, the Soroka news. Now that was on the heels of the Nelly news. That was on the heels of the Burns news. So we got to deal with a lot in this game. We're not the only team doing this. So we're gonna be tested for sure. But the conversations in my office have been rapid, very, very rapid.
As have the injuries. That was Torey Lovullo this afternoon before the game today as Lourdes Gurriel Jr. leads off the bottom of the fourth against Taj Bradley. Brandon Pfaadt, if you're wondering where he is, I'm sure he's going to be here at some point. Remember, they sent him down to Reno to stretch him back out as a starter, but the injuries are happening so rapidly they haven't had time to give Brandon enough starts to get him stretched out at Reno. The plan today was he'd throw about 55 pitches. He threw 52 in 3 2/3. Did well, gave up only 2 hits, 1 unearned run, struck out 4, did not walk a batter. So very encouraging there for Brandon, but who's not yet stretched out to come back. And so that leads to a question, well, who starts tomorrow, because you've lost Nelly and Pfaadt. And they have a guy here. It's probably not a guy you've heard of, and that will be announced after the game tonight, we're told, in terms of tomorrow's starter. Jeff Bannister and Torey Lovullo, as they did last night, looking for plans B, C, and D. As Gurriel strikes out, 3rd strikeout for Bradley, and there's one down on the 4th. Brings up Pavin Smith. Pavin a strikeout victim his first time. At this point, you're just looking for bodies that can stand up.
Does he have a pulse? Send him up here.
Get him up here. It always creates a bit of a buzz when there's a new name on top of a locker in the clubhouse, and that was the case before the game today, and that'll be announced after the game tonight in terms of tomorrow's finale. And then we're off to St. Louis for 4, Tampa Bay for 3 over the weekend. Oh, 2 on Pavin. Diamondbacks still with only 1 hit, a bunt single by Tommy Troy against Taj Bradley, who has walked 2 and struck out 3.
And the way Bradley's been spraying the ball around, he's actually struck out more than Zach Gallen up to this point. 3 punch outs for Bradley, only 2 for Zach Gallen.
Zach through 4 innings is already at 72 pitches, 42 for strikes.
I mean, you give up 9 base hits, granted, a lot of them weren't hit very hard, but 2 walks to go along with that. 11 base runners in 4 innings is pretty tough to keep them off the board.
Shaw from second. 2 outs in the 4th, and now the batter is Nolan Arenado. For a limited time only, fans, get dbacks.tv for just $37.99 for the rest of the year. Subject only to national exclusivities like tomorrow. It's an NBC Peacock deal tomorrow. Subscribe today for the chance to win the ultimate behind-the-scenes experience with the dbacks.tv broadcast. You might actually get to serve on Bob Brenly's staff for him, but you don't believe me, you don't want that. But you will get behind the scenes. You can meet Dennis Lamb.
There you go.
Who is with us tonight, of course, working the audio in the booth. Dennis Lamb, that's star of the Dennis Lamb Show. You can also climb up behind the backstop and take down the Moss cam, because frankly all of us have just about had it. There it is. See, he even wrote his name on it. Our director Brian Moss wants to make sure that, well, you know, you put your name on the sides of buildings these days, doesn't always work out. Two and one on Arenado. .50-50 frenzy today. Del Castillo on deck. Nolan hangs it up in left center. Long way to go for Larnach. He's over there with Buxton, and he's able to run it down. Bradley with a 1-2-3 fourth. It's 6-0 Minnesota after 4. That's sort. Well, Bob Brenly always talking about Nolan Arenado and his 10 Gold Gloves, always throwing on the move.
Yeah, it's not something you would probably teach a youngster learning how to play third base, but he's been doing this his entire career. I remember the time when Troy Tulowitzki was in short, and Nolan Arenado was a third for the Rockies, and neither one of those guys planted their feet. They always threw on the move.
Nolan, 10 gold gloves, all the platinum gloves. He's been outstanding defensively this year. Brooks Lee. There's single off Gallen twice and knocked in 2 runs. Starts off the Minnesota 5th. Coming off a 4-run Twins 4th. They lead at 6-0. They've out hit the Diamondbacks 9-1. Brooks Lee, 25 years old, the first rounder out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. His father Larry, the head coach there. He was the number 8 pick in the 2022 draft. Brooks Lee, named for Orioles legend Brooks Robinson. Zach at 75 pitches as we open up the 5th.
He could play a little third base.
Just a bit. Lee punches it down the line, and he's got his 3rd hit tonight. It gets into the corner, and Lee's at second. He's going to head for 3rd, and he's going to make it. Marte will throw in there, but Brooks Lee is 3 for 3. It's a leadoff triple.
Looked like a breaking ball. It just didn't get down far enough. Stayed near the bottom of the strike zone, and everything Lee does turns to gold right now. That ball hit all the way down in the right field corner. By the time Corbin tracks it down and gets it back into the cutoff man, Lee's sliding into third base.
6 runs on 10 hits for Minnesota. Lee at 3rd to start off the 5th ahead of Victor Caratini, who singled and scored in that 4-run 4th. Infield in for the Diamondbacks, and there's ball 1, the changeup. Gilbert Diaz just up the other day from Reno, getting loose in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Gilbert's been working in relief all year for the Aces. Getting ready for what would be his season debut. Gallen coming up on 80 pitches. Infield still in, now the 1-0. That's a good aggressive fastball from Zach Gallen in the zone. Like to see more of that. Followed up with a curveball. It's lifted up toward the pool and down for a hit, and another Minnesota run. Victor Caratini has his 2nd hit, and the Twins are all over Zach Gallen here tonight.
About the only thing you can say good about Zach Gallen's outing here tonight so far is he hasn't given up a home run.
I mean, let's face it, he got nickeled and dimed in that 4th. They're all base hits, so nothing against the Twins, but they weren't exactly knocking the cover off the ball. But 4 runs is 4 runs. Now it's 7-0. A triple and a double open up this inning. Here's Luke Keyshaw. So they start to get a little more slug in these hits. 11 hits for Minnesota, 1 for the Diamondbacks, and it was a bunt single. New career high for Zach Gallen, 11 hits allowed. He's at 80 pitches, 46 strikes. And here's another base hit as Keyshaw drops it into short center. 3 consecutive hits open up the 5th.
Don't you have to get him out of there? I mean, he's not fooling anybody.
It's been the case for a while. Wellington Cepeda on the other end of the bullpen phone. Triple by Lee, the RBI double by Caratini. He's at 3rd now after the Keyshaw single. Dell, they want him to go out and slow things down.
Yeah, you saw Torrey indicate to ADC go out there and stall for some time. Talk to him as long as the home plate umpire James Hoy will allow you.
Well, Torrey Lovello getting some applause as he goes out to take Zach Gallen out of the ball game here. And another rough one for Zach. Zach Gallen winless since May 23rd. Leaves in the 5th trailing 7-0. Well, Zach Gallen, here we are on June 20th, still in search of some answers. A rough one against the Twins here today. 12 runs, a new career high for Zach. Did not retire a batter in the 5th. And making his season debut for the Diamondbacks, the right-hander Gilbert Diaz. He's been working in relief with AAA Reno. 26 appearances, 4 saves along the way. And 43 strikeouts in 32 innings for Gilbert. Caratini's at third, Keyshawn's at first. A run home for the Twins. And still no outs. The batter is Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop, the number 9 hitter. Well, Gilbert showed encouraging flashes in his first big league appearances 2 years ago, including 4 starts. But last year limited to just 1 relief outing for the Diamondbacks. Gallen responsible for the 2 base runners. Kreidler will drive in another Twins run. Caratini comes home and it's 8-0. Well, they had 5 consecutive hits in the 4th. 4 consecutive hits open up the 5th.
Nine hits already in the ball game from the 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters in this Twins lineup.
Larnach has singled twice and knocked in 2 runs, 2 for 3.
Now, Diaz last pitched in the major leagues for the Diamondbacks back on April 25th of 2025 against the Braves. Went 3 innings in that appearance.
Struggled in the minors throughout last season, however, both at Amarillo and Reno. Issue for Gilbert last year in the minors, extremely erratic command. Worked 57 innings, had 70 strikeouts, but 73 walks.
Wow.
Yeah. The stuff is electric. It's just got to be in the zone.
And it was a similar story in Reno this year. He was 3-3 with 4 saves, pitched to a 4.50 ERA, but in 32 innings he struck out 43, walked 21.
There's a strike to Larnach. Byron Buxton 0 for 3 on deck. Eight runs, 12 hits allowed, new career highs for Zach Gallen, who did not record an out in the 5th. That's a full count on Trevor Larnach. Gilbert opens up there with a walk, so an RBI single and a walk against Diaz. Still no outs for Minnesota. Remember, they batted around in the previous inning, and they're on their way to doing it again. Brian Kaplan's going to have to get out there. Quickly running out of mound visits. They're down to 1 left, and it's only the 5th inning and no outs. As we get this from Arizona, 529.
Knock it out of the park when saving for your child's future educational needs. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan today at az529.gov.
Well, this one is very quickly spun out of control in the 4th and 5th. It was 2-0 Minnesota after 3. This has turned out to be statistically the worst start of Zach Gallen's career. And there are still no outs in the inning. Byron Buxton is having an all-star season, the 3rd highest home run total in the majors. Will bat with no outs and the bases full. Luke Keyshaw is at 3rd. Ryan Kreidler is at 2nd, and Trevor Larnach's at 1st. Buxton has homered in 6 of his last 12 games, hitting .370 in those last dozen games. And that fastball is low, but a strike at 97, and it's 1-1. Buxton last year stayed healthy and put up the big numbers, career highs in fact, 35 homers. Drove in 83, sends Corbin Carroll all the way back to the wall, and that is gone for a grand slam. It's 12-0 Minnesota. And there are still no outs in the inning.
Well, we know the Diamondbacks have become masters of the come from behind win. I think maybe they're digging too deep of a hole here against the Twins tonight as Buxton goes the opposite way. Well up into the seats.
And Minnesota, still with no outs in the inning, has hit for the cycle in the inning. Third career grand slam for Buxton, his first since 2019. Cody Clemens now. Diamondbacks have been out hit 14-1, and their one was a bunt base hit by Tommy Troy. Good slider there from Gilbert. It's 1-2 on Clemens. Tommy Troy, a perfectly executed bunt base hit in the third. The only damage they've done against Taj Bradley. He's now got a 12-run lead. Way they're headed, considering the bullpen work that had to be put in last night. Adrian Del Castillo, who started this game catching, might finish it pitching.
Yeah.
Clemens skies one to left center field. Tommy Troy's there. And that's the first out in the fifth. Josh Bell now. Bell has doubled and walked, 1 for 2. There is some good news on the horizon. I'm looking at the 50-50 scoreboard. We're up to $55,000 on a big night. It's a 50-50 frenzy tonight. Don't forget, Father's Day is tomorrow. You can give Dad a big check for Father's Day. Some lucky winner's going to take home half the proceeds from the total. The other half goes to benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. Does all the great work all over our state and community here. You can get your tickets online from anywhere in the state of Arizona. You can do it from home. Don't have to be here to play. dbacks.com/5050. Take a shot. Final total is going to be a big number tonight, and we're only halfway through. So maybe that's the scoreboard we'll keep an eye on rather than this one.
That was a lot better looking than the one straight ahead of me. I know that.
They're sort of getting equal in number, unfortunately. 2-2 on Bell. And that one's going to dunk in front of Tommy Troy. Bell aboard for the third time.
We need a double play right here. They're really going to mess up my scorebook.
Yeah, running out of room to write down all these hits. Royce Lewis 0 for 2 with a walk. Lewis is the only Twin starter without a base hit, and it's only the fifth inning. Lewis has 4 homers in a dozen games since he came back from the minors, AAA St. Paul. Two on Royce Lewis. Gilbert Diaz getting roughed up here by the Twins. Pete Alonso fans in the house. No, wait, that's Snoopy. It looked like polar bears.
It did.
Must have been the shades. Dale will give this a look near the screen.
And he's got it. Adrian Del Castillo, terrific catch up along the netting. Lewis 0 for 3.
Nice job, stay with it right there by ADC. Looked like he didn't see it initially, but does pick it up eventually. Measures his steps right up against that wall.
Well, the Twins have batted around in consecutive innings. Brooke Lee started off this fifth with a triple. He's 3 for 3. Twins come in here third in the American League Central. They're a team that certainly doesn't look like they're 5 games under 500, but they are playing better as of late under Derek Shelton. Rocco Baldelli was eventually dismissed as manager, replaced in November by Shelton, who of course was the former Pittsburgh Pirates skipper. Twins have been kind of going backwards. 82 wins 2 seasons ago. They won 70 games last year. Remember, they had that midseason roster purge when they dealt 10 players at the trade deadline. Things have been much better this year, and there's another hit for Lee, who's 4 for 4. Josh Bell's on the run, and they're going to wave him around third base. Lee is going to have his second triple in as many innings, but he's now going to have to go back. We saw this earlier. He's going to go all the way around just to make sure. But it looks like the ball is entangled somewhere in the stadium. We'll see how the umpires want to sort this out and place the runners. Smart by Lee. Might as well go all the way around and then let the boys in blue figure this out. It's stuck under the bullpen fence. Terrific job by our camera crew to find that one. Not much Corbin could do there.
Yeah, Toby Gardner, the third base coach, was waving Josh Bell, but I think it was only after he saw Corbin Carroll give up on that ball down in the corner. It gets tucked underneath the padding right there.
Derek Shelton going to come in and check in with James Hoy. Here's a look. Yeah, boy, that right away Corbin saw it, just kind of got sucked up in there, and it's still in there. Now this is where it gets really tricky, because this is an umpire judgment call as to where to put the runners and who to allow what base. Doesn't look like Derek Shelton feels like a 12-0 lead is safe enough.
Yeah.
He's fighting for his player, and everybody seems satisfied. So they're gonna put, let's see, I don't know.
I think they're going to put Bell back at third base and just call that a double.
They're gonna have to get Brooks Lee out of the dugout. He's already in there celebrating his inside the park home run. And the way he's hit the ball, I don't blame him. Yeah, he's headed back to second base, and Bell will stop at third. So it's a double for Brooks Lee, who's 4 for 4 and a home run shy of the cycle.
Wow. In the 5th inning.
In the 5th inning. It's still the 5th, right? Here's Caratini, who has singled and doubled 2 for 3. He had an RBI double earlier in this inning. 12 runs on 16 hits for the Twins. There's a strike. Good slider by Gilbert, 0-2. A 4-run 4th, so far a 6-run 5th. '99 misses inside. You see Gilbert, you like the stuff, you like the velo, obviously. You just got to be able to throw consistent strikes. Five pitches in this inning. He did not even start the inning. Marte's got to hustle over there, gets under the glove. Bell will score. They'll wave Lee as well. Corbin Carroll's throw is not in time, and it's 14-0. Caratini with his 3rd hit.
I mean, it would have been a great play by Marte, but it looked like that ball just slipped underneath his glove right there. He went into a slide, just didn't get the glove down quickly enough. Twins will tack on 2 more.
14 runs on 17 hits through 4 2/3 innings. Kershaw has singled twice, singled and scored earlier in this inning.
Eleven of their 17 hits have come from the guys at the bottom of the order, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Brooks Lee is 4 for 4. Caratini's 3 for 4. Kershaw has singled twice and scored twice. Kreidler has a pair of RBI singles. Big home run, Byron Buxton, the grand slam earlier in this inning. One and 2 on Luke Kershaw. Bounced a curveball halfway to home.
Well, this is certainly not the kind of game you were hoping for after all the bad news injury-wise the Diamondbacks have received in the last couple of days.
12th man to bat in this Minnesota 5th. Full count, 3 and 2. Philip Abner just recalled today in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. His 3rd go-round of the big league roster this year, the left-hander. There's another base hit. Kershaw's 3rd consecutive hit. And a long 5th gets longer. Three consecutive hits after the Lewis pop out. Kreidler had an RBI single earlier in this inning. He was the first batter that Gilbert Diaz faced, and now he's coming around again. Perdomo in there looking for the pep talk. Got the right guy there to give it to him. Gilbert is trying to survive of what so far is a 43 pitch inning, an inning he did not start. James Hoy with a slow walk out to the mound. They're out of mound visits. This is it. So the pitchers are on their own now. "52 pitches in the inning. Diaz has thrown 43 of them. Came in after the first 3, had base hits against Gallen. Lee the triple, Caratini the RBI double, Kershaw the single. That's when Diaz came on to face Kreidler, who had an RBI single. And so the Twins have batted around against the second pitcher in this inning. Drive deep to center. Jorge Barossa chasing this one down. He won't get there, and it's off the wall, and it rolls away. Corbin Carroll backing up. 2 more runs come home. It's 16-0. A 10-run Minnesota 5th. And Gilbert Diaz, who came on to relieve Zach Gallen in this inning, will not survive the inning. They have batted around against the second pitcher of the inning. And now Amber's coming in, looking for that elusive 3rd out. 16-0. Back in a moment. Well, what began as the worst start of Zach Gallen's career in terms of runs and hits allowed has snowballed on Gilbert Diaz as the Twins have batted around against him in the inning. An inning he did not start. That's not something you see every day. Here is the left-hander Philip Abner, recalled from Reno today, making his third Diamondback appearance of the season. His third different stint on the roster, looking for that ever elusive final out of this 10-run Minnesota fifth inning. And Larnach cooperating with a one-pitch foul ball. Del Castillo chasing it down and can't get there. And the inning that won't end is ongoing.
Got a glove on it, just couldn't quite get it in the pocket that time. Hit off the webbing, dropped over in front of that third base dugout.
And Dell had to run a long way to get to that with the gear on. So Larnach still alive. He has singled twice, walked, driven in 2 runs, scored twice. Yada yada. Marte's there, and a 10-run Minnesota fifth mercifully ends. The Twins have out-hit the Diamondbacks 19-1, and they have a 16-run lead.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Arizona Diamondbacks and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Do not adjust your sets. Yeah, is right. Diamondbacks have 1 hit, and it was a bunt single by Tommy Troy. And the rest is, well, you know, you can figure it out.
Bradley with a couple of walks in the game, second hitter of the ball game, and with 1 out in the third, he walked Ketel Marte, but he's been close enough to the strike zone to get some soft contact from the D-backs.
And throwing consistent 95 to 99 with a fastball.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
So with a 16-0 lead, Victor Caratini will challenge the ball call. And he does so correctly.
Minnesota has 2 challenges remaining.
Well, there's this. Your staff points out that Diamondbacks lead the major leagues in comeback wins. So we got them right where we want them.
Fell right into our trap.
26 comeback wins, the most of the majors. And by the way, the Twins have 23 blown lead losses.
There you go.
So that's tied for the most of the majors. So this is, everything's pointing up Diamondbacks right now. Right? It's a half full glass kind of a deal. 0-2.
Well, the other scoreboard that we really like is up over 60 grand now.
Oh, it's a frenzy today. 50-50 frenzy. dbacks.com/5050. Diamondbacks Nike RBI season is funded by the raffle. It's currently underway, providing an opportunity for high school athletes to play baseball or softball in an elite summer league at no cost to them. One of the many great programs funded by our 50-50. You are fans. Don't forget, you can buy a ticket online at home from anywhere in the state of Arizona. dbacks.com/5050.
Well, if you have siblings and you want dad to think you're his favorite, that's the way to go about it. 50-50 tickets.
So basically bribe parental love.
Whatever it takes.
Yep. Here's a check. Am I your favorite now? Yes, you are. You are today. And our crew working hard here. 50-50 staff. Great crowd tonight. And they're at a game they may not soon forget, unfortunately. We will also point out that it was 32 minutes for Taj Bradley between pitches, so he's probably rusty. 8th pitch of the at-bat right here to Adrian Del Castillo, flying out to center his first time. It's coming back here. I would like to point out that everything went wrong when Gladden missed that foul ball. That was the turning point of the game. And it's usually, as we saw last night with the Twins, a Twins miscue defensively that opens up the floodgates. And this is all on Gallen, your boy. The great Dan Gladden. Boy, it was fun to watch him play. The 87 Twins, 91 Twins. 2 World Series ring. This was the play earlier. He had a glove. Look at Corey cowering in the background. It's embarrassing.
Save that tape.
10th pitch of the at-bat, and Dell knocks it off the glove of Lee and into left center. The second Diamondback hit and a base hit. This is where the comeback begins.
It's got to start somewhere.
It's a leadoff single.
Good battling at bat that time by ADC. Fouled off a number of pitches before finally getting one he could do something with. Lined it through that left side.
On board ahead of Jorge Barrosa. Jorge in center tonight with the injury to Jordan Lawler, a hamstring strain. Jordan's going to be down a while. Torlavello said today regarding Lawler, they will not do another imaging for 4 more weeks. So it sounds like it's worse than a grade 1 strain, which is odd because we watched him run off the field last night.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like you thought, okay, maybe it's a cramp or something. Bradley at 80 pitches, 49 strikes. Barrosa hits a high fly ball to right. Cody Clemens all the way to the wall, and the comeback is underway. Jorge Barrosa is second, and the Diamondbacks are on the board.
Well, at least it gives the Diamondback fans something to finally cheer about. Jorge Barrosa flexing his muscles right there. Rode that one out of here out near the 374 mark.
Jumbo Jack, free Jumbo Jack tomorrow. A Jack in the Box for the purchase of a large drink. Second of the year for Jorge. Now Tommy Troy, who has one of now 3 Diamondback hits. A beautifully executed bunt base hit his last time up. Tim Tawa, who was called up from Reno today with the injuries to Lawler, has come out of the on-deck circle. It looks like Ketel Marte will get the rest of the night off. High chopper, there's never been a low one. Kryler from shortstop. And they throw out Tommy for the first out of the inning. One more look at Jorge Barrosa's second this year.
Looked like a little cutter or something that just stayed up out over the outside part of the plate. Barrosa showing great plate coverage, reaches out and hooks that ball back to right center for a 2-run bomb.
Tim Tawa now will bat for Ketel Marte. Tim's first D-backs appearance since May 31st. Recalled earlier today. He's been hitting a ton down at Reno. Tim was optioned to Reno the day after May 31st when Pavin Smith was reinstated after that left elbow surgery. Now they're both up. Let's check in with Jody Jackson. Jody.
Yeah, guys, you know, Tim Tawa's been on a tear in Reno, hitting homers. I did ask him, though, about being up here. He said, yeah, I got word after the game last night I was coming up. When he heard that it was because Jordan Lawler was injured, he said he was pretty upset. They were very close, very good friends, and it was rough. Of course, he was glad to be coming up here. He always is grateful for that opportunity, but it was tough news for him to hear that Jordan Lawler had another injury, guys.
It's tough for all of us, and it's not a simple one for Jordan. He's going to be down a while, as we said. Yeah, but Tim in Reno, 12 extra base hits, 16 RBIs in 15 games. He's been killing the ball down there. Perdomo, the hitter, Ildemaro Vargas, is in the on-deck circle, and he would bat for Corbin Carroll. So Marte gets the rest of the night off. Looks like the same for Corbin. So you could put, theoretically, Tawa in right field and Vargas at second once we get to the top of the next inning. Patel 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Perdomo 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. 0-2 is low at 99. DJ Rayburn says no, we didn't offer it. Well, it's a tough one to swallow after all the injury news last night, and still with a chance for a series victory tomorrow. Diamondbacks will name their starter after the game tonight. But Perdomo strikes out. To the 6th inning we go, trailing 16-2.
And water.
Jorge Barrosa's second of the season has the Diamondbacks on the board, but they trail it 16-2. And here are all the Minnesota hits. StatCast provided by Google Cloud through 5 innings. It's all Twins tonight.
Seems like a lot of hits.
Well, yeah. 16 runs, 19 hits for the Minnesota Twins. Pinch hitter now to lead it off for Minnesota. Jorge Barrosa takes over for Corbin Carroll in right. Tim Tower replaces Barrosa in center. Ildemaro Vargas in at second for Ketel Marte, and LeJames Groover at third for Nolan Arenado. Here's Kyler Fedko, the rookie, who will bat for who? I can't even read my scorebook anymore. All I see are Twins runs. I believe it's Byron Buxton.
Yeah, Buxton.
Yep. This is Buxton's spot. Fedko 0 for 4 in 4 games. Recently called up for his first big league look. Fedko, a 12th round pick by the Twins back in 2021 out of UConn. Former Big East Player of the Year for the conference. Buxton gets the rest of the night off after a grand slam in the 5th. Kyler Fedko. And Abner out there for the Diamondbacks.
How about one quiet inning? 1, 2, 3.
Two curveballs from Abner. 1-2. Up the middle for Perdomo. A nice scoop at first by Pavin. And that starts off the Twins' 6th.
Cody Clemens making his way to the plate. As you probably have guessed by now, it's the son of the Rocket, Roger Clemens. And I think I've told this story in the past. I was playing in a golf tournament in Las Vegas after the season was over in 01.
Vegas, baby.
And was on the driving range with a bunch of other guys. It was a whole bunch of Major League Baseball players. And my phone rang in my back pocket. Okay. Look at it. Jerry.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Mr. Colangelo. Hey, how you doing? Good, good. Are you at a golf tournament in Vegas? I said, yes, I am. He said, is Roger Clemens there?
Put him on.
I said, he's hitting 2 bays down from me right now in the driving range. Hand the phone to him.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it didn't work out, obviously. We didn't end up with Roger Clemens behind the Rocket, or behind RJ and Schill.
Probably a rule against that.
It got my blood flowing a little bit.
I would say so.
Ooh.
And here's Cody. Of course, all of Roger Clemens' sons have a first name that begins with a K,
yeah,
for obvious reasons. Cody's turned out to be the best of the bunch in terms of baseball. He's done a nice job with Minnesota. Kind of bounced around for a little bit. Last year began the season in Philadelphia. They designated him for assignment in April. Sold him to the Twins, where he had a very nice year last year. 19 home runs. He's a guy who can put it first base, second base, corner outfield, DH, the whole thing. Played sparingly with both the Tigers and the Phillies, but he's definitely found a home with the Twins. Full count, 3-2.
And you never know what makes the switch go on. Sometimes it's the wording that the hitting coach uses. Sometimes it's the way you're being used in a lineup.
Jorge Barrosa's in right, and Jorge's got it just shy of the warning track for the second out for Abner. Celebrate Father's Day tomorrow. The finale against the Twins. Diamondbacks will be looking for a series victory. First 15,000 dads get this very sharp Father's Day polo. Yeah, man. Kind of a jazzy, big band 40s kind of flavor. Classy shirt for Father's
Day.
Day.
You want to dance if you wear this shirt. This is sweet.
Yeah, with the collar, the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole. You could wear a tie with this shirt if you wanted to. I'm not sure why you would want to.
Gotta look nice. Josh Bell has walked, singled, doubled, and scored twice. Abner looking for what would be the third. It's hard to believe the third 1-2-3 inning by a Diamondback pitcher. What do you got here?
I'm told this is a new item down in the team shop. Yeah. Gabby Lane. We talk about it all the time, and they finally came up with some merch.
There is. Should we? Nah, never mind. Gruber's got it at third. Hey, there's a 1-2-3 inning for the Diamondbacks as Abner gets the first 3 outs. 16-2 in the 6th.
Mac and I both believe in it, securing the baseball, hitting the cutoff man, and getting good jumps in the outfield, and really keeping it simple. I think at times you can overcomplicate things, and that's something that I learned from Mac is, as a coach, keep it as simple as possible for these guys. And he's taken something with a base running in the outfield that can be complex at times and simplifies it and really helps these guys.
And there is Peter Borges heading out to first base. He will serve as first base coach over there tonight. He did last night as well, as first base coach Dave McKay is attending a family member's wedding and will return tomorrow, guys. But talking to Peter, he's lucky to be mentored, he said, by the great Dave McKay. He said, I wish that I could have been coached by him when I was playing. Of course, he retired from playing and now into the coaching lifestyle. He said, I would have been a much better player with all of the information that Dave McKay gets to the guys. And
oh no, don't even tell me. Oh boy, Gladden's already all over you. I see you, Corey. Don't you point at me. I see you. The Twins radio booth is on the counterattack after a foul ball nearly took out my partner Bob Brenly, but he made a much better effort than Gladden's display.
Well, only because I didn't try to catch it. I just leaned to my right.
That's right. But Gladden's got a glove. I mean, right there.
Right there it is. A few scuff marks on it. It hit the back of the booth and ricocheted back forward.
Yeah, I wish we could hear Twins radio right now. We're getting buried. Vargas lifts it out to right, and Cody Clemens has got it. What are the odds of 2 foul balls nearly hitting you and your former teammate as here's the former Diamondback Anthony Bonda to pitch for Minnesota?
What are the chances?
Well, we've seen some strange things here tonight.
Yes, we have.
Getting stranger. Gurriel. There's Kyler Fedko. A hit for Buxton. Takes over in center field. The Yukon Husky. Gurriel 0 for 2. I mean, Gladden's thing wouldn't have been so bad, but he brought a glove. And he was a good defensive outfielder with the Twins and the Giants.
Yeah.
Well, good might be a stretch, but he was a major leaguer. So you took the high road. Just let the ball come in. It's like Bob Uecker used to say, that's how he caught the knuckleball.
That's right.
Pick it up when it stops rolling.
Wait till it hits a backstop and go back and pick it up.
Right. Uh-oh. I think we're getting killed on Twins TV as well. Trevor Plouffe has had something to say. It's nice enough. Trevor was nice to come in and say hello.
Yeah.
Working Twins TV just to our left. Everybody picks on Gladden, but it's kind of easy to understand. And Caratini hangs on at the tip. This was a Trevor Plouffe earlier. Goes in to give Gladden. This was after Gladden's. Oh, that's beautiful.
Just beat him up.
What are you doing?
Danny's ready to fight right now.
Look, they're making fun of you over there. The Diamondback guys are.
Oh, boy.
David Smith. If we didn't laugh, we'd be crying by now. By the way, it's a national broadcast tomorrow. That's why it's an early start. If you got tickets tomorrow on Father's Day, don't forget to get here early. It's a noon start tomorrow, 12 noon, because it's one of those Peacock deals. Gonzo will be doing a game with Trevor Plouffe, so this might come up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Let Manny V have some fun with that tomorrow. And Pavin knocks it the other way. 4th hit for the Diamondbacks, a 2-out single. So check your local listings. A noon start tomorrow. Fans, if you have tickets to the game tomorrow, noon start.
Nice, easy, controlled swing that time from Pavin Smith. Kept his head right down the barrel of the bat and took advantage of that huge hole on the left side of the infield.
And for James Groover now, took over third for Nolan Arenado. James nearly hit his first big league home run here last night. Hit it high off the wall and left and just missed. He wound up with his first career extra base hit. Doubled and scored last night in the win over Minnesota. Popped up, short right center. Fedko coming in. And he's got it to strand that 2-out single. Diamondbacks baseball is presented by Y-Refi.
Tomorrow.
Well, this is my partner, Bob Brenly, between innings showing Dan Gladden. This is how you catch a foul ball. And Gladden said, you didn't catch that. I did, right in my hand, right there.
He says, I need to see the video. I need to see the video.
Look at how red his face is. I caught it. Yeah, we'll get you the highlights. Corey Provis, Dan Gladden, a great combination on radio.
Great job.
That was a good bit. You can't prove you didn't catch it. Well, maybe. Royce Lewis leads off against Philip Abner. You and Gladden are always going back and forth at each other. I think he's still mad that you didn't go to his house when we were there last year.
Yeah.
Oh, Lewis splits the gap deep in left center. Had a home run last night. He just missed another one here. As Tower gets it back in quickly, it's a leadoff double. And now a word from Auto Owners Insurance.
We customize your policy, so when the unexpected happens, you know you're covered. That's simple human sense.
Well, now every Minnesota Twins starting player has a base hit. Lewis had the 0 for 3, but he's walked and doubled now. Leadoff man aboard for Brooks Lee, who they have yet to get out tonight. He has singled twice, doubled and tripled, and if my math is correct, is a home run shy of the cycle. And Lee is second on the club with a dozen home runs behind only Byron Buxton. So he's got some pop. Switch hitter bats to the right hand side against Philip Abner. Well, if some fan is getting booed down there, and anyway, I hate to pick on some folks, but he's in very good position here for that last one. Yeah, it's the night for drop foul balls. Dan Gladden knows how you feel. I like that shirt, though. That's a sharp looking jersey.
Yeah, that's a 2001.
Yeah.
With the World Series logo on the left sleeve right there.
He might not sleep tonight.
Yeah, maybe not.
I had it. He's going over. He looks just like Dan Gladden. Getting the bat on the back. You'll get him next time, kid. Oh, well. He's got good seats anyway. Brooks Lee hits a fly ball to right for Jorge Barrosa. And Royce Lewis, 16-2. Not giving up. Tag second to third. That one deep into the right field corner. A chance now for Victor Caratini, the catcher, who has base hits his last 3 times up. Foul at third. Justin Lawrence, the right-hander, sitting up in the Minnesota bullpen. We've already seen a lefty, former Diamondback Anthony Bonda. By the way, 50-50 still moving up quick, 67,000 plus. It's a frenzy today, a 50-50 frenzy. dbacks.com/5050, the place to get your tickets online. Our D-backs Give Back 50/50 raffle supported by Avnet Cares. You can play along from home anywhere in the state of Arizona online. dbacks.com/5050. Half the final total can be yours if the price is right. There's Mickey, our camera guy down there. By the way, you know, we talked about tomorrow being another national exclusivity deal. So you'll have the day off. I know you'll be wearing your Father's Day polo shirt, watching the game on TV. I'll be here doing Cardinals prep, waiting for the flight to St. Louis. But we want to give a special shout out to our super utilities. Now we've shown you a lot of shots of the radio booth, the TV booth, Trevor Plouffe, Dan Gladden, Corey Provis, everybody over there. Chris Garagiola, of course, radio here. Tom Candiotti, you and I, and hear the whole thing. But these are the guys that keep everything plugged in. And so there's a swing and a miss on the Abner changeup and a strikeout. So when a national broadcast comes in like last night, Apple, tomorrow, Peacock, they have to rewire the whole thing. And so we have a tremendous crew that does it. Jennifer Hines, Mickey Wheeler Jr., and Matt Holt. Those three folks make sure everything works, and they got to, every time a new network comes in, and like this series, 3 games, 3 different networks, they got to plug everything back in, take it down, replug it in. So we want to thank Jennifer and Mickey Jr. and Matt, because they have done a tremendous job bringing you these pictures and the sounds and all that stuff. And they're here real early and they're here real late, resetting everything 3 times in 3 days, which is no small feat.
No, not at all. We really appreciate their efforts.
Yeah, they do a great job. Jennifer Hines and Mickey Wheeler Jr., Matt Holt. Keyshaw fouls that away. And so much goes into bringing you Diamondback baseball. Royce Lewis at third with 2 outs and an 0-2 count on Keyshaw. Twins have 16 runs on 20 hits. Just off with that changeup. 20 hits in a game, the most allowed by the Diamondbacks since June of 2023 in that crazy game against the Phillies. A bunch of home runs in that game. Lewis down there at third, 1-2 on Keyshaw. Line to third, and LeJames Groover right there. So they strand that leadoff double. Time to stretch. It's 16-2 here at Chase. Well, there's our intrepid young Diamondback fan. Baxter came over and gave him the ball that got away. So we take care of our own here at Chase Field. So congratulations, young man. Make good here from Baxter. Desert Financial Credit Union. A look at the upcoming schedule. Don't forget, again, if you have tickets for tomorrow, Father's Day, it's a noon start. NBC Peacock has that game. And we're off to St. Louis for 4. Then we're at Tampa Bay for 3 over the weekend at the Trop. Ah, the Trop. They rebuilt it, did a nice job. Former Colorado Rocky Justin Lawrence is the new pitcher, starting the 7th for Minnesota. He was sold from Pittsburgh earlier this month and is already making now his 7th appearance as the Minnesota Twins and his 30th of the year. Austin Martin replaces Cody Clemens in right field for Minnesota. And Adrian Del Castillo leads it off for the Diamondbacks. Del singled in the 5th inning and came home with a Jorge Barrosa home run, the only runs of the game so far for the Diamondbacks. So plenty of Justin Lawrence over his 4 seasons with the Rockies. Working in relief out of the Colorado bullpen. 69 appearances for the Rockies 3 years ago. Spent last season with the Pirates, began this season with Pittsburgh. Purchased by the Twins on June the 2nd. It's a frenzy today with a 50-50, so we'll extend the deadline. Usually you have to get your tickets by the end of the 7th inning. So, but under a frenzy, it's like the Wild West. There are no rules. You can just go crazy. Dbacks.com/5050. A place to get your tickets. It's approaching $70,000 right now. Half the final total can be yours. And the other half goes to benefit the tremendous programs run by the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation's Youth Sports and Outreach program. Talking about the youth sports, it directly impacts the Diamondbacks Nike RBI season, which is funded by the raffle and underway as we speak. High school athletes playing baseball and softball in an elite summer league at no cost to them. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game. Jorge Barosa in the fifth breaks the seal on the scoreboard, his second of the year.
Yeah, I said it earlier. We were hoping Barosa would start to make more solid contact. Boy, did he ever.
You nailed it.
Yeah, talking about the frenzy once again. The Nike RBI season, as you mentioned, they're going to pick an all-star team that's going to have the opportunity to travel up to Portland to play in a regional tournament against other RBI programs. And last year, the 18 and under team from Arizona won the World Series.
And that produces a program that produces athletes who've gone on to play at the collegiate level with scholarships. All of it funded by our Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, and the money provided by you, our fans, with the D-backs 50-50. Lawrence uncorks a wild one, and Dale moves up to second. By the way, this just in, the 50-50 does end after this half inning, so you got to get on this now.
Okay.
Yep. It's a partial frenzy. It's a medium frenzy. It's well, yeah, you get it. But you can still get on there and buy your tickets. Fans are busy buying them here. Yeah. Dbacks.com/5050. So beat the clock. You still got 3 outs. All right, so Lawrence has walked the first 2. You're looking for base runners, obviously, here, and Tommy Troy will get a chance. So 2 walks and a wild pitch for Lawrence with a 16-2 lead. Tommy had a bunt base hit in the 3rd. He grounded out his last time up.
Yeah, Lawrence is basically just a 2-pitch guy from that low 3/4 arm angle. He'll throw a sinker and a sweeper from that low arm angle, but can't find the strike zone right now.
Native of Panama, played collegiately at Daytona State College in Daytona Beach, Florida. Went to high school in Jacksonville. Justin Lawrence. Boy, he's having trouble finding the strike zone here. I mean, a lot of trouble. He's thrown 12 pitches now, 10 of them balls.
And most of them non-competitive pitches. They're a ball right out of his hand.
Now this from Andrew, the home buyer.
Catch the best deal for your house by calling me, Andrew, the home buyer.
Well, the Twins bullpen has been a weak spot for Minnesota. They've run some different guys in and out of there looking for solutions, and like Lawrence enough to pitch him 7 times since they bought him from the Pirates earlier this month. It's only been about 3 weeks. Got 10 strikeouts in 5 1/3, but having trouble finding the strike zone here tonight. Right on the corner with a sinker that time. It's 2-1. Tommy Troy will be part of the center field mix, Torlavello said today. He's in left field tonight with Gurriel in the DH spot. There's another wild one from Lawrence, and everybody gets another free pass. So he's walked 2 and thrown 2 wild pitches, all in a span of less than 3 batters.
And most of them missing on glove side. I mean, he pulls this ball way over there.
You think we could get him to hit the Moss cam so we could knock that thing off and be done with it altogether? It's a favorite of the beat writers. They love the Moss cam, the great angle. So Dell at second, Barosa, or Dell at third, Barosa at second. That's a strike call, says James Hoy. Caught the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, that's not fair. A guy misses his zone by 4 feet on the pitch before and then paints the outside corner at the knees.
Now the 3-2.
And he's walked the first 3 batters he's faced with 2 wild pitches thrown in for good measure. And here comes Tim Tao with the bases full. And you better start running out there, Pete Mackey.
You know what he's going to say?
Quit walking, guys.
Stop walking, guys.
Tawa took over for Marte as a pinch hitter in the 5th. Tim grounded out. Most of the veterans are getting half the game off. Ketel Marte, Nolan Arenado, Corbin Carroll as well. Only player left on the bench, Gabriel Moreno, who's got the night off. Got an early start tomorrow at noon. Don't forget, if you got tickets tomorrow, it's an NBC game, so it's an early start. 12 o'clock noon tomorrow, first pitch. Here's Tawa. Tim recalled from Reno today, where he's been just killing the ball. His first appearance for the Diamondbacks since May 31st. Dell's at third. Barossa is at second, and Tommy Troy at first.
Well, if we mean to have a comeback, let it begin here. Already had 1 grand slam tonight. Byron Buxton in the 5th for the Twins. Diamondbacks will see Tim Tawa getting some center field starts. He'll be in the mix there with Jorge Barossa. Tommy Troy will play out there eventually once Dave McKay signs off on that. But they look at Timmy as a center field option, plug and play around the infield. That Torey Lovullo described him today as a very trusted defender. No matter where you put him on the field, we've seen that time and time again. Behind in the count, 0-2. Not that time. Willie Traynor.
It's funny, it seems like Lawrence has had more problems throwing that sinker for strikes than the sweeper. And sometimes that's a way to get a guy back into the strike zone. Make him throw one of his secondary pitches until he gets it in the zone.
Now the 2-2. Well, he beat him with a fastball at 95, and Lawrence has got his first out.
Unfortunately, good meeting.
Yeah, ran that in there.
Right back in the zone.
Well, every Minnesota Twins starter has had a hit tonight. Yesterday or last night, every starter for the Diamondbacks except Geraldo Perdomo had a hit. Jerry 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Perdomo walked twice last night. Is on his way to walking twice tonight. Ahead 2-0. But the way he's hit the ball lately, 327 in his last 16 games. You'd like to see him get something to take a whack at here. Bases full and 1 out. A hard sinker below the zone.
Yeah, it seems overly simplified, but when you face a guy like Lawrence that throws that heavy, hard sinker, you've got to remind yourself as a hitter, make it be up. Anything mid-thighs and down is probably going to be out of the strike zone by the time it gets to the catcher, so make sure he gets it up where you can put a good swing on it.
Went to the 4-seamer and threw it in the zone at 96. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Del Castillo's at third. Barossa is at second. Troy's at first. $50 still in play. We're up over $71,000. evax.com/5050. Jerry won't chase. That sweeper didn't quite sweep, and it's a full count. Lawrence has already walked 3 in the inning and thrown 2 wild pitches. Vargas on deck. It almost hit him. And he's walked in a run as Del Castillo will come home. Perdomo has walked twice for the 2nd consecutive game. Lawrence has walked 4 of the 5 batters he's faced.
In what was a 16-2 ball game. That'll drive a pitching coach crazy.
That's not what you want. Chance for Ildemaro. Now here's Vargas, a guy that usually sees about 2 pitches per plate appearance and swings at everything. Boy, every once in a while when you think Lawrence is going to spin out of control, he dots a fastball or a sinker. Barossa at 3rd, Troy at 2nd, Perdomo at 1st, 1 out, a run home. Almost hit him again, and then he yanks one the next pitch. He's thrown 31 pitches, 20 balls. You better start warming up in a hurry. Right-hander gets loose. Eric Orsi. 2-1 on Ildemaro Vargas. Vargas rips one down the line. That's a fair ball, and here we go. Barossa's home. Here comes Tommy Troy. J.R. House waved Perdomo home. Ildemaro Vargas with a 3-run double.
Oh, smoke down that right field line. It's not easy to hit when a guy's spraying the ball all over and throwing it behind guys and missing his zone by 5 feet at a time. But Vargas waited on a pitch he could handle and ripped it down into that right field corner to clear the bases.
Well, we're back within 10 at 16-6. 4 runs home of the 7th with 1 out. Vargas at 2nd for Gurriel. Lourdes 0 for 3. Lourdes just his 4th game since coming off the injured list. Missed 21 games with that left hamstring strain. Sweeper didn't sweep. It's 2-0. .34 pitches, 22 balls. He's walked 4 in the inning. All 4 walks have scored. And Lourdes will take time. Diamondbacks lead the majors in comeback wins this year. This would be like a record or something. He trailed after the top of the 5th inning, 16-0. They're on their feet. They've not given up hope. Sweeper off the corner.
Good take right there.
Yeah.
Hasn't thrown many close to the strike zone, but that one appeared to be a strike until that late break took it off the outside corner.
They even had a base hit against the left-handers last time up. Bonded. 3-2 from Lawrence. And Lourdes chases that one well outside the zone. 2nd strikeout for the Twins right-hander. Here comes Pavin.
We've seen Lourdes a lot. He'll chase down and away like that quite a bit.
And not just breaking balls. That was a sinker out there.
Pavin singled his last time. That's coming back here. Look out, Dan Gladden. Eighth man to bat in the Diamondbacks' 7th inning, Pavin Smith. Pavin singled and homered here Monday against the Angels. Singled and scored late last night. And he's got his second hit tonight as it drops in front of left field. Larnach comes up throwing. Vargas coming home. It's cut off. And an RBI for Pavin.
Another very controlled swing that time by Pavin Smith. They've given him a lot of room on that left side of the field, and he's taken advantage of it.
And he's hit it over there twice. Pavin 2 for 4 with an RBI. Groover 9th man to bat in the inning, but he'll face a new pitcher. As Derek Shelton is going out there quickly to get Lawrence, who's really been knocked around for 5 runs in this inning. And we'll take a break on D-Backs TV. Back in a moment. Don't forget, Father's Day sale is for a limited time only. You can watch Diamondback games in market, live and on demand. We've slashed the price. $37.99. DBacks.tv, subject to national exclusivities like tomorrow, a noon start on NBC Peacock. DBacks.tv for more. This is game 76, so you got a lot of games to go. Just $38. Former Met great Eric Orsi is on the mound. His 3rd season, his 3rd team. He was with the Mets, the Rays, and now the Twins each of the last 3 years. He's been busy back there in the Twins bullpen. He leads Minnesota relievers with those 34 2/3 innings. James Groover, the batter, 9th man to bat in the Diamondbacks' 7th. Here's an unusual situation. Diamondbacks have scored 7 unanswered runs, but they are still trailing by 9.
Ooh.
It's been that kind of night. Down 16-0 at one point. But 5 runs home in the 7th. And Groover looking for more. He nearly hit a home run here last night. Eric Orsi out of the University of New Orleans from Carroll's Dream, Illinois.
Giving Groover a lot of room in that gap in left center field. Fedko shaded over toward the pool a little bit in center, but the left fielder Larnach playing straight up, which leaves that big gap out there in left center.
Bouncer to Kreidler at shortstop, and they get the force on Pavin. Diamondbacks send 9 men to the plate. They get 5 home, and it's 16-7.
Of America.
Hey fans, the Diamondbacks will host the San Francisco Giants at Chase Field, a 3-game weekday series starting June 29th. Get your tickets for the matchup, which features the Peanuts Bobble Pack. That's coming up on Sunday, June 30th. You'll get a game ticket and this exclusive Snoopy bobble. I want one of those. It's wearing a Diamondback jersey and cap. That's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
DBacks.com/peanuts for your special event ticket.
And you see all the cartoons in the background there behind Snoopy. Charles Schultz, like a quarter of his comic strips were to do with baseball.
Which is funny because he was a big hockey player. Charles Schultz, a big hockey guy. Ryan Kreidler, number 9 man, leads off the 8th. Philip Abner's done a nice job since coming on in relief. Just recalled today from Reno. I grew up reading those the Peanuts paperback books.
Oh yeah. Charlie Brown was just a little too gullible for me. You know, Lucy kept pulling that ball back every time he tried to kick it.
He was an optimist. I always expect every year. That was an annual tradition, right? They go out and do that once a year, and every year she would pull the ball away. You got to have hope, especially when you're down 16-7.
Yes, indeed.
Or you could be like Morgan Freeman and Shawshank and go, hope kills a man. Or whatever the line was.
Yeah. Whatever you say, I'll agree with.
It's a quick transition there from Peanuts to Shawshank.
Oh, my.
3-2 on Kreidler. So we start at the top of the game. By the way, your staff, speaking of optimism.
Okay.
And we know that, I mean, if you're going to work on Bob Brenly's staff, you have to have some kind of optimism. It's kind of like being at Shawshank Prison.
A lot like that.
A lot like that. You're forced to cook the books and such. But anyway, you crawl through a sewer pipe to get out. But you have a chance to make MLB history tonight, the Diamondbacks.
Uh-oh.
The largest comeback in Major League history is 12 runs.
Ooh.
Been done 3 times. Of course, they didn't say by who or when, but we know the number. And the Diamondbacks, after the top of the 5th inning here, were down 16-0. So this would be the greatest comeback in baseball history. Look at it that way. You got history right there for the taking.
Something to shoot for.
That's right. See?
Got to have goals.
Got to have optimism.
Well, the easy thing is to say, hey, this happens over the course of 162 games. You're going to have some clunkers, but this was a clunker unlike any I've seen before. The way that 5th inning exploded.
They batted around in back-to-back innings. Don't see that a lot. 0-2 on Larnach. Has been a big part of things at the leadoff spot. Punches it up to 3rd for the James Groover along the line. Boy, Abner's done a nice job when he really needed some length. On a rough night, Gilbert Diaz couldn't survive his 1 inning. They batted around on the reliever in the inning, which is something you never see. But Abner's quieted the waters for sure and given them some length when they desperately needed it. 40 pitches, 29 strikes. Kyler Fedko, the UConn Husky, took over in center for Byron Buxton. Kyler Fedko comes from a television background. He's from Pittsburgh. Was a prep baseball star there in Pittsburgh. His father John was as any Pittsburgh native who might be listening would know, was a longtime institution as a sports anchor in Pittsburgh. WPXI Channel 11. He was the legendary sports guy in Pittsburgh, and this is his son, who's now a major league player, Kyler Fedko, who had a terrific career at UConn. He was Big East Player of the Year, led the conference in hitting, most outstanding player in the Big East Championship. Just got called up the other day, his 5th major league game. Austin Martin on deck. A little low for that one. Fedko takes the walk. So second walk in the inning for Abner. Might be starting to run out of gas a bit here. Dell's going to go out and take a walk to the mound. Torey Lovello is going to go out there and join him.
I think we're going to see Ildemaro Vargas pitch.
I was going to say there's been no one warming up in the bullpen. And so there's all kinds of rules that they changed in recent years about position players pitching. And when things get out of hand like this, it's sort of to throw the rules out and you can pretty much do what you want when you're the team that's trailing. Tim Tawa is going to come in and exchange gloves. Gurriel is going to go out to left. The only bench player you've got is Gabriel Moreno, and I'm sure they'd like to keep him out of the game with an early start tomorrow. So Torey Lovello moving some pieces around the chessboard here. You're going to lose your DH, but this is what it has come down to. So Ildemaro Vargas is on the mound. Position players can only pitch either in extra innings
or in the 9th inning for a team leading by up to 10 runs. But if you're the team that's trailing by 8 or more, the position player can pitch any time. And so they're sort of trying to throw you a bone here. You can save your bullpen, and Vargas is going to come in and try to get the final few outs.
Ildemaro's trying to keep from laughing while he's warming up out there on the mound. Yeah, his batting gloves in his back pocket there. Have to get rid of those.
Austin Martin, who took over in right field for Cody Clemens. I always want to call him Aston Martin. Now here's Ildemaro Vargas, who has done this occasionally over the years. Martin is the hitter and Vargas is the pitcher.
A real low 3/4 arm delivery.
First since 2024, when he was a Washington National last time Ildemaro pitched. His 6th career appearance. Ephus lands a little high. Another thing about this is with the institution, or that's not the right word, but an installation of ABS, is that when a position player pitches, they turn it off. So you can't challenge a call when a position guy's out there. So you should get pretty much every call because it's unchallengeable. How about that one? Is that a book out of the Ryan Thompson playbook? Page? The general philosophy when a position player is pitching is just throw it in a zone and hope they hit it to somebody.
Hope your defense makes a play behind you.
The last thing you want to do is start walking the ballpark. So even if you give up some contact, and that's going to be expected, it's better than walking guys. So the Twins with 1 out have the bases full, and Josh Bell obliges Perdomo for 1 and 2. Ildemaro Vargas, always a good ground ball pitcher, gets that double play and ends the bases loaded threat. High fives all around. Ildemaro Vargas talking about the inability to land that breaking stuff, but he got a big ground ball out when he needed it for a double play, and here it is. Off the bat of Josh Bell, Perdomo ends the bases loaded threat, and Vargas, who's walked low to the bases, gets out unscathed. Final 2 outs of the 8th inning, gets us to the home half. And a big smile for Ildemaro. Let's add that to the list of things he's done this year. Eric Orsi, who got the final out of the 7th, on to start the 8th against Adrian Del Castillo. On a night when the Diamondbacks have shattered records for pitching discomfort, let's call it. The roughest start of Zach Gallen's major league career, and the worst inning in terms of runs and hits allowed in Diamondback history in the 5th inning. When Minnesota had a 10-run 5th, the Diamondbacks in that inning gave up a home run, 2 doubles and 2 triples for the first time in their franchise history.
They were a home run away from a double cycle in the same inning.
It's amazing. First time in history they've had 2 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run allowed in the same inning. Here's Jorge Barosa. Been a good night for Jorge. He homered in the 5th, walked and scored his last time up. Split it right down the middle. Expect to see a fair amount of Jorge Barosa over the next month while Jordan Lawler is out with that hamstring strain, at least a month. In fact, Torluello said today they likely won't re-image Lawler for another 4 weeks and then see where they are. So Jordan's going to be down for a while. So in the meantime, you'll see Barosa in center. You'll see Tim Tawa out there. Eventually Tommy Troy.
That's the plan moving forward for center field. And Barosa, who's already got one home run, splits the gap in right center, and it gets to the wall. Jorge's on the run, and he'll stop at second. It's a one-out double. Barosa's second extra base hit tonight.
And that two-run homer back in the 5th. He walked and scored in the 7th, and now a double to the gap in right center here in the 8th inning. Boy, and hopefully, if he gets more consistent at bats, we'll see more of that from Jorge Barosa. It's been tough on him getting playing time, getting regular at bats.
It's been the same for Del Castillo as well.
Yep.
It's hard. Torres talked about that. It's hard to get all these guys consistent looks. Tommy Troy's had a good night, a bunt base hit. He's walked and scored. Now in center field after the last position change. It's belted into left. Tommy Troy's second hit tonight. And Jorge stops at third. Back-to-back one-out hits. Troy aboard for the third time tonight from the 9th spot.
Bottom of the order's done a nice job tonight getting on base. 3 walks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits from the 7, 8, 9 hitters.
Roy Lavello checking in with James Hoy now about something. The crew chief is the plate umpire. Remember, the Diamondbacks are without their DH after moving all those pieces around.
We're still 4 spots away from that designated hitter spot, which right now would be the pitcher, unless you use Gabriel Moreno to pinch hit in that spot and leave him in as a designated hitter in case something does happen to ADC. You could slide him behind the plate.
Trying to keep Gabby out of the game if at all possible. Early start tomorrow. Remember, if you got tickets, fans, for Father's Day tomorrow, it's a noon start. Game is nationally televised by NBC Peacock. There's Moreno in the dugout. He's not been running all that well lately. He's getting pretty worn down. Two balls and a strike on Tim Tawa. Barosa's at third, Troy's at first. Splitter runs in, it's 3-1. Romo on deck. Diamondbacks, after all, coming off a 5-run 7th and threatening more here in the 8th with 1 out. Up high, and they're loaded for Perdomo. Now, last time Jerry was up was the 7th inning with the bases full, and he drew a bases loaded walk. So back-to-back innings now. Perdomo will bat with the bases loaded.
Seventh walk that the Diamondbacks have drawn tonight against Minnesota pitching.
So far, 4 of them have scored. Barosa, Troy, and Tawa, your runners third to first. Largest comeback in Major League history is from down 12 runs. It's been done 3 times. Diamondbacks trailed it 16-0 in the 5th. Last time it happened, well, the first time was 1911. Tigers and White Sox. 1925, the Philadelphia Athletics did it against the Tigers as well. Last time it happened, 2001, Cleveland against Seattle. There's a little tapper, tricky play. Perdomo is out at first. Barossa comes across, and it's 16-8. They've cut the lead in half. Now there's 2 outs. Second RBI tonight for Perdomo. Vargas, the pitcher, is the batter. Gurriel is out in the on-deck circle as the left fielder. He had been the DH. But you've essentially got a position player because he's the pitcher batting in the pitcher spot. You don't have the DH. So when you do that, you kind of don't lose a DH. No pitcher's going to have to hit.
May not seem like much, but 2 more runs right here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Put you within striking distance anyway.
Base hit brings him in. Tommy Troy's at third. Tim Towers at second with 2 outs. Vargas rolls it to the first base side. Kershaw makes a nice play to get to it. And Orsi's out of the inning. 9th inning coming up. It's 16-8 Minnesota. Fans celebrate Independence Weekend with the Diamondbacks. Enjoy extended post-game fireworks shows twice at Chase Field, July 3rd and 4th, with the Brewers in town. Presented by Bar S. Get your tickets today. Dbacks.com. Fireworks spectaculars. Extended post-game fireworks shows, July 3rd and 4th. Dbacks.com for tickets. Dancing to the music here. They can't hear that. Royce Lewis leads off the ninth against Ildemaro Vargas on for his second inning of relief.
Dancing to music only they can hear.
A lot of people like that. ABS is turned off, so let's hope that James Hoy is generous back there behind the plate. Lewis hits it way up high. Gurriel is in left. Ildemaro Vargas has retired 2 in a row. Brooks Lee, the batter. They've only gotten him out once tonight. He has singled twice, doubled and tripled. He does not have a history of facing Ildemaro Vargas, so there's no data to go on. A home run shy to cycle, and he's up there facing a position player pitching, so if he's ever going to hit for the cycle, this is his chance. He's got to be thinking that right now. Lee is second on the team behind Byron Buxton in home runs. Question is, will he get anything to take a whack at? He might as well swing at anything right here. And pops it up. Vargas applauding himself as Perdomo gets under it. He swung at a 3-0 pitch. What are you doing? Watch Ildemaro's reaction. I got him.
In case you're wondering, the slowest pitch ever recorded in a major league game was 30.1 miles per hour by Brock Holt.
Oh yeah, Red Sox utility guy.
The fastest strike ever was also Brock Holt, 31.1, but the slowest ever, 30.1.
Ildemaro's up there like he's throwing darts. Victor Caratini's had a big night. 3 hits. He's knocked in 3 runs and scored 3 times. Some straight heat upstairs. Can Vargas pull off a 1-2-3 9th? He's retired 3 in a row. Two-out walk to Caratini, aboard for the 4th time tonight. He's only walked 2, so all things considered, he's done pretty well. Hasn't given up a hit yet.
He pitched around the lefty there to get the righty up at the plate.
Smart baseball is all that is. Yeah.
Yeesh. Gas.
Painting. Keyshaw with 3 singles and 3 runs scored. Line to third. Groover's got it. Ildemaro Vargas
does it again.
Gets him 5 outs. What can't he do on a baseball field? Ildemaro Vargas got a double play ball to end the 8th inning, and 3 outs in a scoreless 9th. Works his way around the 2-out walk. Vargas, hey, think about it. Zach Gallen really had a rough start, statistically the worst of his career. But basically, they figured out a way to give the bullpen the night off. Diaz, Abner, and Vargas, I mean, all the usual cast of characters back there didn't have to pitch tonight, which, considering what happened last night, is an enormous bonus for a Diamondback club that could use something resembling good luck here. And they'll face Yuendrys Gomez to start this 9th inning. Gomez was purchased from Tampa Bay back in May. In his 30th appearance of the season. Austin Martin has moved over from right field to left field, placing Trevor Larnach. And Keyshaw goes out to right field. Ray was the shortstop last night, the new second baseman. Uriel the batter. Lerner 0 for 4. He has struck out 3 times. Backhanded by Gray, just in there at second base. That's the rule. Got to hit it to the new guy. Yeah, that's the first out. Post-game preview provided by Talking Stick Resort. Jody Jackson, Mark Gray standing by. They'll have a complete recap of Dan Gladden's drop foul ball coming up later. Good night for Pavin. He has singled twice and driven in a run. 2 for 4. Remember, noon start tomorrow. Game is on NBC Peacock. Gonzo will be working that game along with Trevor Plouffe, Matty V. After that, Diamondbacks on a flight to St. Louis for 4 night games in St. Louis, Monday through Thursday. They'll have to figure out who's going to pitch when, sort through this rotation, which has taken some major hits the last couple of days.
Might have to use Vargas as an opener.
Hey, you prove it, he can get you some outs. You were covering the expansion draft for the Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah.
Working on the TV side. That's how your Diamondback career started. As Pavin Smith strikes out. In 1997, the Twins lost 2 players to the Diamondbacks in that expansion draft. Bob Brenly named those players.
Oh, jeez.
One of them, all right, I'll give you a hint. One of them was a catcher.
Jorge Fabregas.
Good guess, but wrong. Damian Miller.
Oh, Damian. Yeah.
Your favorite catcher. The other was Brett Brady.
Okay.
Played left field and right field opening day. Groover hits a fly ball deep to left field. And this one is over. It's 16-8. A rough one all around, and they'll look to get the series win here tomorrow, and they'll announce the starting pitcher after the game tonight. They'll have to make a move to do that, and so Tor Lavello will answer that. Our question in the post-game show. They'll have it for you with Jody and Gracie coming up. I mean, this is another one. The answer is just flush it, move on.
Yeah, that's really all you can do. Get in the shower, wash it off, come back tomorrow, and hope to get off to a better start. Score first.
Remember, a noon start tomorrow if you've got tickets on Father's Day. Jody and Gracie coming up next on D-Backs TV.